So we continue our discussion on Cittavisudhi and Khanikā Samādhi. So, as we have mentioned, in the state of Cittavisudhi, purity of mind, so only pure noting mind occurs continuously, right? Without any moments of impure consciousness or impure thoughts coming in between. Right? So, and in such a condition of noting, there's no thoughts that arise at all in the mind. Okay? So the yogi is noting continuously, noting very well, noting continuously, noting clearly, but yet there's the thought does not even arise to the yogi. That I am noting well, I am noting continuously, I am noting clearly. So his mind is just simply noting and experiencing clearly the bare nature, the object in each moment. So, and there's not even the thought that arises about the nature of the object that is noted. For example, this is hardness, or this is softness, or this is pushing, or this tightness, or this is heat. So no such thought arise at all. Okay? So about the object, nature, the object noting. And needless to say, even the more complex thoughts, such as this hardness is the earth element, this heat is the fire element. So such complex thought also does not arise. Okay? So, yeah. So at that time, no thoughts arise at all about the nature of the object and that is being noted, whether simple thoughts or complex thoughts. So yet the mind is experiencing clearly the bare nature, the object in each moment. Or hardness, softness, tightness, stiffness, heat, cold, knowing, and so on. Okay? So, so the mind is just experiencing the bare nature. Okay? So there's just a bare experience, just a continuous and clear bare experience of bare nature and bare qualities, mental, physical nature going on moment to moment to moment. Yeah, because noting is going on continuously without any uh, intervening thoughts in between about what is being noted, uh, or even the thought of I am noting. Okay? Mm, so the experience is like uh, being the experience when you're in this state of Cittavisudhi. Okay? It is like you're lost in nothing. The whole mind is completely lost in the nothing. So you don't even have an idea that it is nothing. Nothing just goes on its own. Okay? So it's just like when your mind is lost in thoughts or maybe lost in a daydream. Yeah? So when you're lost in thoughts or in a daydream, do you know that you're thinking or do you know that you're daydreaming? So you do not know, right? It's only after you snap out of the thoughts or the daydream and you look back, then only you realize you were deep in thoughts or you were deep in a daydream, right? But while you're in the thoughts, while you're daydreaming, you do not know. You're lost in it. Mm. Mm. So, so the same thing happened. Yeah, the yogi, while the mind is in this state of Cittavisudhi. Because pure noting goes uh, on their own. Okay. So, but because there's no thought, yeah, it's just noting, noting, noting. Noting is not thinking at all. Right? It's just experience and nature one after another. So there's no thought at all that I am noting and so on. So because such thought does not arise, there's no knowledge that it is nothing. Okay? Mm. So it's only after you come up from this state of Citta Visuddhi, uh, when you stop meditating. So only after you come up from it, then when you look back, and then only you know, oh, mine was lost in nothing. Okay? So, mm, but when you look back also, we find that the noting at that time, even though you're lost in noting, the noting is clear. It's noting continuously, noting clearly. Knows the nature of the object that is noted clearly. And during an interview also, you can report back what you've experienced during that time. Okay? Mm. So when the yogi is in the state of this chitta visuddhi, so all mind is like lost mm, in the work of noting. Mm. So you can say that it is completely absorbed into the work of noting. Okay? So, so in this sense, it has some similarity to the absorption concentration in samatha, the samatha jhana. Mm. So in the state of jhana, the samatha yogi also, his mind is completely absorbed into the samatha objects. So, so right, so the object in samatha is the nimitta. Right? So usually it's the nimitta, the image in the mind. So the mind is completely absorbed into this image. Okay? So at that time, it does not know, when it's completely absorbed into the image, uh, it does not know anything except this image, this nimitta. Okay? So for example, if the is meditating on the casino, so let's say the white casino. So white casino is that bright, luminous, white image, right? The white disk. uh, So, so when the yogi enter into absorption, into jhana, with this image as his object, is completely absorbed into the whiteness of the image. Okay? So to completely absorb means it become unified mm, with this whiteness, such that it's so totally unified, such that mm, uh, the mind at that time, the experience in the mind is the whiteness, and the whiteness is the mind. Okay? It's completely unified. There's no differentiation between subject object, the mind and this object. Okay? So it's an undifferentiated experience. Okay? So, so in this sense, the mind is completely lost in the whiteness, just whiteness. Imagine your world is all around just whiteness, nothing else. Okay, uh, that's the world of the yogi, when it's absorbed into this uh, object, okay? The samatha object. So it's a undifferentiated experience. Okay? Mm. The only thing that the yogi knows is just whiteness. Huh? It does not even know front or back or left or right or up or down. It don't even experience the mind and the body. Okay? Mm. So uh, just experience whiteness. Okay? It's like you're lost completely lost in a dream of whiteness and nothing else. Okay? Mm. So if, even lost the sense of time and space completely. Yeah? Mm. So it's only so when you are absorbed into it, that's all you know. It's an undifferentiated experience of whiteness, a dream of whiteness. Mm. Mm. So they do not know anything but this whiteness. It's only after the mind withdraw from the state of jhana, and then when it look back, review the experience, and then only it realize that earlier the mind was in a state of very deep peace, and with whiteness all around. Yeah? Mm. Mm. So, so the experience of the vipassana yogi in the state of Cittavisudhi has some similarity to this absorption of the samatha yogi. Some similarity, not completely the same. Okay, so mm, so in the state of chitta visuddhi, so the mind is completely uh, absorbed into the work of noting. So noting just goes on and on and on, uh, moment to moment to moment. So, and while the mind is absorbed in the work of noting, all the yogi knows in each moment is the nature of the object being noted. So you're noting, for example, rising, 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 moment to moment. You're just being aware of the sensation. You experience pushing, 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 tightness, 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 moment to moment. It's just knowing this. Okay? Mm. Yeah. Sometimes also the nature of knowing. As in, pushing, knowing, pushing, knowing, pushing, knowing, pushing, knowing. Just nature, mental, physical nature, moment to moment, and nothing else other than this. Okay. Mm. So, mm, but unlike the experience of the samatha yogi, so in vipassana, mm, the experience is differentiated. In samatha, it's undifferentiated. If it's white kasina, it's just whiteness uh, all over. Okay. So undifferentiated whiteness. Here in the experience of vipassana, the experience is differentiated because moment to moment, you're experiencing one nature, another nature, another nature. uh, So it's differentiated. Right? Mm, But there's no sense of a person present that's doing the noting. mm, mm. Because our mind is experiencing just the nature of the knowing, uh, or the noting. It's the mind that's noting. So, and when you note clearly the noting mind, you see clearly it's just the nature of noting is not a person. So there's no sense of a person that's doing the noting. There's just a sense of momentary nature occurring one after another, continuously. Okay? Mm. And the whole mind is lost in the noting of this mental physical nature, moment to moment. It's absorbed in the noting of this mental physical nature. Okay? Mm. Yeah. So because this Cittavisudhi Khanikā Samādhi, it has this nature of absorption. Okay? Not totally the same as the absorption in samatha. It has some degree of absorption in this work of noting. So that's why sometimes it's chitta visuddhi. The meditation teachers call the call it the vipassana jhana. Okay? So when you call it vipassana jhana, it's not to uh, say that it is similar to the samatha jhana. It's very different. It has some similarity, but it's not totally the same. That's why we don't call it samatha jhana, we call it vipassana jhana. So in this state of vipassana jhana, the mind is immovably lost in the noting of each occurrence of the mental physical nature, moment to moment. Okay? Mm. Okay. So when Cittavisudhi occurs, at that time, Khanikā Samadhi, the momentary concentration occurring moment to moment to moment to moment, uh, without continuously, without a gap in between. So now we have been talking a lot about regularly, we've been talking about Khanikā Samadhi throughout this retreat. Okay? So, but what exactly is Khanikā Samadhi? Uh, So, mm, in the definition of Khanikā Samadhi given in the Visuddhimagga Mahādhika, the commentary to Visuddhimagga. So it defines it as uh, Kanamatta Titiko Samadhi. Okay? So, which means the Samadhi or the concentration lasts only a moment. Okay? So that's the meaning of momentary concentration. Concentration that lasts only a moment. Okay? Now, this definition is given due to the nature of the object of Kanika Samadhi. Okay, so it does not reflect the strength of Kanika Samadhi. Yeah? So some people, when they hear, oh, this concentration lasts only a single moment, it can't be very strong. Yeah? So, uh, yeah, but it does not really reflect its strength, but it's defined in such a way due to the nature of the object. So this Kanika Samadhi, what is this object? Its object is mental physical nature, nama rupa dhamma. Its object is the vipassana object, mental physical nature. Mm. So, so this object is the condition for this concentration arise, right? Yeah. Without an object, the concentration does not arise. When concentration arises, I mean, you concentrate on something, some object, right? So it needs the object to arise. So the object is the condition for the concentration to arise. Okay. So and so this Kanika Samadhi arises with the mental or physical nature as its object. Okay. Now, how long does this mental or physical nature last? Hmm? Mm. So if your noting is sharp and clear when you note this nature, you realize that it lasts only a single moment. Okay? So they actually disappear as soon as they arise. Huh? Uh, so it lasts for only a single moment, very brief moment. Okay? So now, because this object that lasts for only a single moment is the condition for this concentration to arise. Huh? So So this concentration also does not last long. It lasts only a single moment. Okay? So when the object arises, it arises together with the object. Okay? But once the object disappears, which happens instantly, the concentration also uh, disappear along with it. Okay? So because of this, the nature of this object, it lasts for only a moment. So that's why it's defined in this way as the concentration that lasts only a moment. Okay? Mm. So as we said, it's due to the nature of this object and does not reflect the strength of this Khanikā Samadhi. So Khanikā Samadhi, momentary concentration, a concentration that lasts only a moment. Okay? So as we said, when they hear this, they think, oh, can't be that strong. If it's not so strong, how can it be sufficient for the development of insight of vipassana? Okay? So when a person asks this question, it shows clearly that he has not experienced Khanikā Samadhi before. Okay? So if you have experienced Khanikā Samadhi before, you would have experienced the strength, the power of Khanikā Samadhi, then you wouldn't ask this question. Mm. Mm. So, mm, so the strength of Khanikā Samadhi is uh, explained or rather reflected in this passage, also from the Visuddhimagga Mahadika. Okay? So, mm, this is sopihi aramane nirantaram ekakarena pavatamano patipakena anabhibhuto papito via chittam nichalam tapeti. Okay? So, which means, if translated, it says that concentration, that momentary concentration also, uh, when it occurs uninterruptedly or continuously with its respective object uh, in a single mode and is not overcome by opposition. It fixes the mind immovably on its object, okay, as if in absorption. Okay? Mm. Mm. Okay, so it says that momentary concentration. Okay? So when it occurs uninterruptedly, continuously. Okay, so continuously means without any gaps in between. So the Pali word is nirantara. So nirantara, antara, in bahasa, something in between. Means something go in between. So nirantara means nothing go in between. So the noting, the, the momentary concentration occur continuously. Yeah? And nothing coming in between to interrupt it. Okay? So it goes uninterruptedly, continuously. Okay? Nirantara. Okay? So this is a very well developed momentary concentration. Okay? So, uh, so when it occurs uninterruptedly, okay, and with its respective object. Okay, so here you see momentary concentration is moment to moment. Okay? So each moment it takes its own object. Okay, so it's not like in samatha, it's just one object. Okay, and the mind is continuously absorbed in that. Here it's moment to moment, and each moment is a different object. Okay, so like when you're not rising, 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 and you know that tightness, pushing, pushing, pushing. Each moment when you know that's pushing, it's one object. Yeah. And next, another pushing arise again, and notes. Okay, that's another object. Okay. Again, the mind goes in and absorb into it, noted. And then next, Another pushing occur again. The noting mind occurs with that momentary concentration, okay, on the next object and the next and the next. So each moment of momentary concentration has its own object. Okay. Mhm. So it says it occurs uninterruptedly with its respective object. Mm. And it occurs in a single mode. Ekakarena means single mode here. Mahasi Sayadaw explained that it means that uh, it's occurring with the same strength or intensity every moment. Okay? It's not that one moment is very, very strong, next moment you become very, very weak. Uh, So it does not fluctuate like this. It occurs in a single mode. That means it's consistently of the same strength, of the same intensity. Okay? So that means this is very well developed. It has rich stability. Okay? It doesn't fluctuate. Okay? It has a persistent momentum going on. Uh, So, so it occurs in a single mode. Mm. And it's not overcome by opposition. Opposition here means the hindrances. Yes, all the hindrances has been cleared away. Okay? So it's going on continuously, nothing to oppose it. There's no hindrances present that oppose it. Okay? So it can go on continuously. Yeah? Mm. So, so when this happens, so when you develop the momentary concentration until it reach such a state where it's occurring continuously, uh, uninterruptedly with its respective object, uh, stable in a single mode, stable with momentum and not overcome by any hindrances. So what happened? So what happened? It says it fixes the mind immovably on this object. Okay, so that means it holds the mind on the object. The mind cannot be moved away from the object, cannot be pulled away from the object. Okay? And the vipassana object is moment to moment to moment. So this concentration also occurring moment to moment to moment. So the whole mind is completely fixed on this flow of the object moment to moment. It cannot be shaken away from it, cannot be moved away from it. Okay? So, so that's why it says as if it's in absorption. Okay? It's as if the whole mind is absorbed in nothing continuously. uh, This flow of the object. Okay? Mm. So that is the power uh, of Khanikā Samadhi when it is well developed. Okay? So every moment, the mind is like absorbed into the object, absorbed every moment, moment to moment. Okay? So even though it's only momentary, every moment is just momentary. But when it occurs continuously, uh, with strength, with momentum, uh, if it has the power to penetrate into the profound nature of the object. Okay? So it's just like you take a single piece of thread. uh, Single piece of thread is very big. You pull it, it just tear, it breaks. But if you take many pieces of thread and you weave them together uh, into a piece of cloth, uh, uh, so that piece of cloth, unlike the piece of thread, you tear is not so easy to tear. uh, So momentary concentration that's well developed is similar to that piece of woven cloth. Okay. So it occur moment to moment to moment, one after another after another. It has the strength, it has the power, uh, penetrate into the nature of the object. Okay? Mm. So it's like it's absorbed, uh, into moment to moment o- object that's occurring. Okay? Mm. Now, what's the difference between the absorption in samatha and absorption in vipassana? Yeah? So each has their own degree of absorption, right? So, but what is the difference? Yeah? So the difference is that in samatha, the absorption is like you take a needle and you stick it into a pin cushion. uh, when you're doing sewing, you have that small little cushion, you stick out a needle there. So it's like sticking the needle onto the pin cushion. Okay? So the cushion is like the object, the same object. Okay? And the mind just stick there. Huh? So in samatha, you just bring the mind to the object, and the mind just remain there, stick there, rest there, absorb in it. That's like that, like the needle in the pincushion, and there it just remain like that. And that is the absorption of samatha. Okay? So then, what is the absorption of Khanikā samadhi? His absorption is like the I think we have explained this before, like the needle of the sewing machine. Huh? So a sewing machine, it doesn't remain still. Down, up, down, up, down, right? As the piece of cloth move past it, right? So the piece of cloth is like the object, the moment to moment object. There's a flow of object. So it's like a piece of cloth flowing through, right? Uh, so 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 the point where the needle is that's like the present moment. So as the object passes it through that point, is like in the present moment. Before that is the future. After that is the past. yeah. So in that moment, the needle goes in. That's like the in the moment you note the object. Right? So it absorb into it and then it's finish. Then the cloth move next object. Again it goes in. Hmm? Then finish, then the next object go in, next object go in. Yeah. So it's repeated absorption. Okay, moment to moment absorption, one after another. Object is different. The moments of absorption is also different. Okay, so the absorption of vipassana, the Khanikā samadhi is like that. Okay? Mm. Okay, we stop here tonight.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namaskar.